So how do I tell them? So welcome to Techno Dad Life, and my name is Jeff, and so today we're going to look at servers versus NAS. In particular, we're going to look at a Synology NAS. And so first, I have to admit something. So I just want to admit that besides having servers, I actually use a NAS also, and actually I've used a lot in the past. I know that's hard to admit. But when I did a little poll, which I'll leave a little picture of right here, so I noticed that lots of you actually use them too. And so let's go over why I have both servers and NASs and how they're not that much different anymore. So now a server can be pretty much anything. So basically a server is something originally meant that serves files, but also runs programs or apps, and then it can interact with the internet, your users. You can access it from anywhere if you want. And so on my channel, so basically I've stuck to the smaller stuff like Raspberry Pis or Intel NUCs, or I've even built a few computers in the past or reused old hardware. So now those are great and you get to reuse things. For me though, because I am always changing things and learning things, they're like learning tools that I constantly mess up as I'm learning new programs or trying out new hardware. And so for my business, which has nothing to do with computers, I need something stable where I just set it and forget it, and then I don't mess with it. So basically, it just runs automatically. So now if you look at a NAS, that's what a NAS does. And so basically, it's something that you can set up, and it's pretty bulletproof. It's maybe not the best hardware, but the hardware is getting better all the time. And then you just set it, forget it. It does what it does. It's a server. It does all the different things that you want to do, and you don't mess with it. Okay, so now if we look at the difference between the two, so here is a server. This is a homemade server. It's what's called a 4U, so that means it takes up 4 spaces in a rack. And then next to it we have our 4-bay Synology and a 2-bay QNAP. If we look at the size difference, so the server is about this long, and the Synology 4-bay is about that long, so that's quite a difference in length. This has 4 hard drives and 2 M.2 drives. This has 3 hard drives and 1 SSD. I made this last year with stuff that was available. But as you can see, size-wise, there is quite a difference. So even though this has more drives, it's like a quarter of the size. So noise-wise, this one is much louder than that one. This has 1 fan, and then basically all you really hear are the hard drives. This one is, you just hear fans all the time. So now for me, I chose to have both a NAS and a server, and so my NASs are for backup for all my daily office and home use. So it has wife approval factor, and then the servers I use as my experiments and where I learn things. So now for my office, I actually have behind me, you can see a bunch of different things there. And so I have some servers on Raspberry Pis, and I have several NASs. And today what I'm going to do is consolidate that all my NASs into one. So basically I have 3 old ones. I'll show you those in a second. So basically, the first one I ever got was this 1-bay Synology, and I don't even know how old this is. I think it's about 10 years old, but it still works. And so this one I use at home. It serves files up at home, and very quiet. Can't complain, never had a problem with it. Then I realized there was no backup of it, so then I got a dual drive QNAP, and you can see this one's had some abuse. You can see it has a dent there right in the front. Now I got this used, and again, it still works fine. Then to back up this one, then I got this another one, a more modern one. This is another QNAP, dual hard drives. Also never had a problem with this, but I'm running out of room. So I have outgrown dual drive NASs. So I got this 4-bay Synology, and then why I picked out this one is you can add M.2 drives in the bottom to greatly speed things up. And so it has spaces for 2 drives. I only actually have one right now, a 240 gig one. Why I wanted ones with an M.2 drive is it greatly increases the transferred speeds back and forth with the NAS, and I'll put the numbers down here below, but I think it's like 5 times faster with one M.2 and then like 10 times faster with 2 of them, but the answer will be down below. So the nice thing about these is they're super easy to put together. My kit that I got has 4 12 terabyte drives. So the drives just pop in. There's little prongs on here. You just fit the hard drive in there and then slide them right in and then lock it down. So what I noticed is actually there's these little panels that come off on the side, so then you can actually slide the drive in, and then you actually stick the panel in afterwards, and the panel has the little knobs that actually hold it in place, so it's actually even easier what I was trying to make it do there. So I bought a 256 Sabrent Rocket M.2 NVM drive, and if you're interested, I'll leave a link in the description if you want to look at it. And there is the drive. Pull that out. There's actually no screws that hold it into place. It actually just has a little clip here, which would save like millions of hours of frustration with M.2 drives if everybody did that. I think that's a really good idea, actually. So if we look here, they're marked 1 and 2. We're just going to stick this in 1. Pull that clip back, and voila. That is the easiest and fastest I've ever installed the M.2. So Synology, good job on that. So because I do video editing, this has 2 1 gigabit LAN ports, and so I'm going to hook them both up. And you can also see on the back here we have a USB 3 type ports, our power ports, and then a SAS port, I think it is, to hook up. You can get extensions and add more drives. So let's hook it up. So in the box it also includes 2 Ethernet cables, a power supply, and a power cord. So we're going to use all these things. So I have the NAS set up, and I don't even think I've mentioned what this is so far. This is a DS920 Plus Synology. It has the 4 drives. I have 4 12 terabyte drives in there, plus 240 gig or M.2. So now my plan is to take all the information which is on my 3 other NASs and transfer it all to this into one. This one is going to go back to my house. This will be a sort of backup. I'll put a larger drive on it. Those other 2, one is going to my dad's house for his pictures, and I'm going to keep the other one here, and then he can back up here. Okay, future Jeff here. So we have our disk set up. We have them in the Synology RAID setup, where we can lose 1 disk and we can still replace it. And then we have a bunch of pictures and movies transferred over. And so doing all that actually took about 2 days to initialize the disk and then basically transfer over all the stuff. So let's see what we have. Here are our 4 drives, and there's our cache drive. And then you can see we set up our pool. It's 32 terabytes total with our 4 12 terabyte drives, which are 10.91 when we do it. The disks have been scrubbed, and then we have it in the SHR format, which is the Synology format where you can take out drives and you can replace them, and you can actually add in different size drives and it will still accept them. But just take out one at a time because it only allows you to do that. And then here you can see I've already put in 45 gigs of information, which was mainly pictures and videos from this channel. And so I transferred over about 6,000 pictures and 200 videos. And then I use the Moment software where then I can look at the different pictures that way. Now, Synology is interesting in that they pretty much have 2 versions of every software. So like they have the Moment software that they say is for home users, and then they have, I think it's called the Picture software, which is for businesses. I think it would be easier if they just kept to one version and then just made it the best version possible. But they do that a lot. They have a lot of different apps for the phone. Seems like they could consolidate all those into 1 or 2 apps, and then they'd have a much better project than having, or have a much better app than having 10 different apps at the same time. And now if we go to the package center, we can see that it shows us all the different packages we can download. It has something here like the download station, which is a BitTorrent program, or different backup programs, iTunes server, and there's the photo station compared to Moments. So basically it has all the different programs that most people want to use, but say there's something that you want to use that's not on there, you can actually, they have a Docker program, you can install that, and you can install Dockers to get any functionality you want, basically. So going back to the beginning of this video, so server versus NAS, well, I would say for me, as you've seen, I use both, but basically I use a NAS as a low-powered, quiet server that doesn't take up very much room, and then the server, my custom-built server that I'm using now, is more of a loud, experimental server, but there's definitely room for both, and you can choose one or the other, but it's up to you. And a special thank you to all my supporters, who without your support this channel would not be possible. And if you haven't already, please think about supporting the channel you love. Thank you.